Welcome back students. I am Vandana Joshi and you are watching SST June. Students, in the previous part of this chapter, we have seen that government is playing a vital role to give the public facility equally and distribute it among all the people equally through the different type of system and which is coming under the Article 21 Right to Life. So, if the government is providing the facility to the all people, so from where the government is getting its money? As in the discussion of Amu and Kumar, we have seen that if the government will provide the facility to everyone, so from where the government is getting money to do different type of things. So we will search the answer of this question in this video. So our question is that what are the sources of revenue for the government? So what you are thinking? What can be the source for the government? From where the government is getting money to provide the public facility in the cheap rate? So the resources of the country are controlled by the government to ensure that their benefits are distributed equally and fairly among all the people. In that, the resources means all kind of resources, means we can include the human resources, the natural resources like water, electricity and all these things. In the human resources, we can include the medical facilities, the educational facilities and all these things. We can include the resources which are provided by the government and we can say them as the public facility. So here we can say the government needs to process a central fund to carry out all its activities, whether to providing the public facility or any campaign for awareness or any other work. For all activity, the government make ensure that some central fund will be there. So from where the government is getting its fund? Let's see. Every year, the annual budget is presented in the parliament. So yes, the government is providing its annual budget. So what is in this annual budget? The government, when the government is providing the annual budget, under the annual budget, government has decided many slabs, out of which one slab is for only the public facilities. In the public facilities, we can include all kind of things, whether it is about the education, the maintenance of the country in the state as well, the PDS system and many more things we can include in the public facility. So from where the government is getting its expenses to provide an annual budget for everything, because the government is not having any income source if the government is not taking money from the people or not any other sources are there. So from where the government is providing the annual budget and how it is helping to the people in the form of public facility. Let's see. Here we can say the annual budget of a country. It contains an account of the expenses incurred by the government in the past years and an expenditure of the expenses for the next year. Means whatever the government is getting in this year, so government has to fulfill the requirement in the next year. So the budget, whatever the government is passing, like the government is passing presenting the budget in 2021, so the amount the government has borrowed from the year 2020. So, and the amount which the government will get in 2021, it can be carried to the next year into 2022. So, the whole annual budget policy is the carry forward policy from one year to the next year. A part of the expenses is related to the cost of providing public facility. Means out of whole budget, some percentage is decided for the public facility. So we can say in the budget, the government also announced the allocation of money to the various new programs. As in every year, the government has decided to give some policies, some plans like 5-year plans, 3-year plans, some new announcement for the upcoming years for the development of country. So all these things the government is decided under the public facilities. What is the requirement of the human beings? That can become in the form of the public facility. And for that the government has decided to give some amount under the annual budget. Now let's see how the annual budget is formed in every year. So the budget which is maintained by the government is getting its money from various parts. So the exporting of the goods and the material, the companies which are running in our country, the foreign companies, the working system, and many things are there which are providing the money to the government in the form of tax. So the main source of revenue for the government is tax revenue. So from where the government is getting its tax revenue? Let's see. So the government undertake various welfare and maintenance of public facility with the help of the income tax. So tax revenue, the government is getting the tax revenue from the income tax, and not only the income tax, many things are there. The different type of taxes are there, like income tax, like we can say the sales and goods tax, which is now converted into the GST, goods and service tax also it is there. And we can say the entertainment tax, some property tax, the custom duties, and many things. The custom duties are mostly applied on the goods which are imported in our country from the foreign country by the consumers. So in that they have to give some tax amount which is known as the custom duty. Okay, and many more taxes are there which are the main source of revenue for the government. The government has to spend the revenue which is collected, and government is utilizing this revenue in the different programs like the defense expenditure. Yes, the security of our country and its people is the main duty of the government. So the main expenditure of the taxes is the defense expenditure, and the second number is of the public welfare, which is also known as the public facility. In this many things are coming. Okay, and also to build the nation is also required under the revenue which is spent for the different thing. What are the things? First is the defense expenditure, second is the public welfare, and third is the built to our nation. So such as to supply electricity which is coming in the built to our nation, the cost runs such as to supply electricity, to provide the free education, 100% job under the Manrega scheme, the roads and the railway tracks for the easy going on everywhere, and many more things are coming in this building a nation. So students, just for example, why the government is building the nation and what is the requirement for that? Just I'm taking an example for the electricity. The cost runs to supply a electrical thing is around crores of rupees. Means the transformer, the electricity generation, and many more things, the hydroelectricity power stations, and many more things. If we will talk about the expenditure of everything, it is around a crore rupees. So it is not possible for all the human beings to purchase it privately, and we can say the expenditure is so much high for everyone. So government has decided to make a proper station for that, and this is equally distributed to human beings, so the burden can be less or minimal for everyone. So in every month or every 2 months we have to pay a electricity bill, which is also a kind of tax, or we can say a rent against the public facility, and this is for a kind of revenue for the government. Not only the taxes, many kinds of bill which we are paying, that water bill, electricity bill, CNG bill, and many more type of bills, house rent, and many things, these all are coming under the revenue for the government, through which the government is providing us the public facility. Means the human beings are only paying for that facilities, and it is the best thing in the country that the government has decided to give the public facility, so that every can be obey these type of things. Students, we will look through a pie chart about the revenue and the money which is collected by the government to provide the different kind of facility from our book. So students, as you can see on your screen, in the first pie chart, which is about the central government spends money on rupees goes to. So it is a pie chart in which we can see the expenditures of the government, where the government has to spend the money, like the things are there, many things are there. So in that central sector schemes, the financial commissions and other transfer, subsidies, defense, state share of taxes and duty, other expenditure, many things are there for which the government is spending its money. And how the government is collecting its revenue of expenditures. So see in the second pie chart, which is from the Union Budget 2017 and 18, and it is the tax revenue of central government rupees comes from. The money from where it comes. So it is a pie chart. So first of all, here we can include the service tax and other taxes. From the taxes, around 10% is coming. From the union excise duties, around 14% it is coming. From the customs duties, it is around 9%. From personal income tax, it is around 16%. From the corporation tax, it is around 19%. And from others, it is around 32%. In the others, we can include many things. So this is the budget. Here we have seen different types of sources of government's income and the different ways for government's expenditure. So now let's look again on our next topic, that is the water supply to Chennai, and the question is available to all. So as in the previous part we have seen this story in which Amu and Kumar were discussing about the different areas of Chennai, and the accessibility of water is different in the different area. So once again we will go through it and we will see why the water is not available in all areas and what are the reasons behind that. Yes, at the starting of the chapter, we have seen the water supply to Chennai is not equal. In many parts, the water is wastage in the lush areas, but few slum areas are affected by the water scarcity in the form of the less amount of water or unpure water. So let's see, is there the water is available? So we can say there is a great shortage of such facilities, as I already told you. Only out of 100, only 25% of population is getting a proper amount of water, and also they are wasting the water. If the water can be equally divided, so it can be sufficient for all the people. But it is not there in Chennai. So the people, those are rich, they can access more water, fresh water and the good water. But the people, those are poor, they can't access the water even for 4 4 5 5 days. And the next, municipal supply meets only about half of the people. So where the tankers are available, where the water cans are available, only that area are receiving only half of the supply. As for pictures we have seen, in one picture the ample amount of water is there. In the two pictures, the water tankers are available to fulfill the requirement of the population of Chennai, and few areas the water cans are also available to fulfill the requirement of the drinking water. So the municipal help is only about of 50% of population. So what about the 25% population which is living in the slum area? So the condition of the slum area is very deteriorating. Even the people those are living in the slum area, they are not having any other public facilities like the public toilets, sanitation, the cleanliness is also not there. So how they can access the good amount of water? Even the water which they are getting, it is only for 4 day in a once. And in that also they are getting only the 3 buckets of water. Even in the summertime they are getting only 1 or 2 buckets of water, which is not sufficient for everyone. So the people those are poor, they are not getting the pure and the purified water. In the next point, you can see the wealthy have more choice, poor are again left out. Means the wealthy people, those are the rich people, like the people those are living in the posh areas, and those are prosperous rich people. They are having a lots of choices to get the water from the municipality, from the private facilities, and many more are there. Even they are having the pumps, the motors to get the water in the force. And the poor people, those are belonging from the slum area or some medium type of areas, they are not having any choice to get the water. They are just depend upon the municipality and the government only for their public facilities. How this problem can be shoot out? Are there any alternatives for that or not? So let's see our next topic. What can be the alternative for that? See, now the government has decided to give some alternative to the people for the proper public facilities accessibility. So, in that, the government has decided to give the Urban Water Commission, in which every person of a area get a proper amount of water. In that another hand, the government has decided to fix a government water department, in which it can be decided that in which area the facilities can be provided easily. So our another question was there, that why the people of slum area and the poor people are not getting the proper public facility. If they are getting, so how they are getting, and if they are not getting, so what is the reason behind that? So if they are not getting the public facility, the reason behind that, the people are not aware about the government policies. And if they are not educated, they are not aware about these things, so it can be a great fault for them that they can't use the public facility without any awareness. So, how they can get these things, and what are the things through which they get or they access these facilities? So, time to time, now government is started to do some campaigns about the awareness of different things. So now everybody knows about the different type of public facilities which are related to the sanitation, the health, and many more things. We know about the Swachh Bharat, Ayush Bharat, and many policies are there part of government's public facilities scheme. So let's see in detail what are the alternative for that. So students, for that, one more project, Saajadhara, which has been launched by the government in 2002 to supply clean water to the rural households or the people those are living in the poor area. Even the World Bank estimated that 21% of communicable diseases is India are linked to unsafe water and the lack of hygiene practices. So, here the government plays the role of facilitator, or we can say the helper, rather than a provider. It helps the community design, create, and manage its drinking water resources. The community shares the cost by making contribution in case or kind and is responsible for maintenance. It also takes steps for the conservation of water, for example, recharging groundwater by not allowing rainwater to run off. Means we can do the rainwater harvesting and we can preserve the areas which are giving us the groundwater. And under the Urban Water Commission, the supply of water per person in an urban area in India should be about 135 litre per day, about 7 buckets. It is a standard set by the commission. And whereas people in slum have to make do with less than 20 liters a day per person, means one bucket is less. People living in luxury hotels may consume as much as 1600 liters, means 80 buckets of water per day. Students, here we have only discussed about one public facility because it is an essential public facility for all the human beings. Other facilities are also essential, but the water is a basic need for everyone. Students, the other facilities like the education, food, the sanitation, and many more are there. So, about the sanitation, it is the second most facility under the public facility which has been elaborated by the government. Like the government has started many missions for that, like Swachh Bharat mission is under this scheme only. So right now, as you know, we are suffering from the pandemic disease corona. So for that also the sanitation is also required. So here we have seen the different aspects of the public facility, and we have also seen what are the government facilities are provided by the government and how we can be aware about that. So students, here our chapter public facilities is complete. Hope you understood it. Here I'm providing you few keywords which you have to note down in your notebook. And for more videos and updates, keep watching SST June.